Do you want an exercise that's going to really light up your hamstrings, get them stronger, and create better balance? Well, you're in the right spot. We're going to help you master what I call the double leg posterior chain lift, which is going to help really light up that posterior chain, hamstring, calves, glutes, low back, to make sure you are staying healthy and balanced for all the things that you love to do. If you're ready to get moving, let's go. So for this exercise, you can use a bench. If you're at home, you can use a couch, a chair, but something relatively about this height. This is probably about 18 inches off the ground. And really, you could do it as low as 6 inches off the ground if needed, but about this height is really what is optimal. So what we're doing for this is we're going to set up our feet on top of that bench. What I'm doing is I'm trying to get my butt as close as I can to the bench so that I keep my knees as bent as possible. This really allows us to keep those quads turned off and to fire distinctly those hamstrings and backsides. So what I'm doing from here is I'm trying to push down through the backside of my heels, which is going to create tension through my hamstrings. And the harder I push down, the higher my hips go off the ground. And I'm trying to get all the way up so that my legs are in line with my trunk. And then as I come down, I'm bringing my butt back towards the bench. You can see I lifted the bench a little bit. We'll talk about that because what we're trying to do is we're trying to pull our heels towards us in this motion. We're trying not to let our feet go away from us. If they push away, that's when you're kicking in your hip flexors. So the goal is to push down and towards you with those heels, which is going to light up those hammies. You're trying to get up all the way to that top and then control back down with this motion. Now from another angle, to see it from head on, is that you can see my knees are inside my feet. Now this is a common theme that I talk about in mastering a lot of lower extremity movements, because when our knees are inside of our feet, that's going to keep our hip flexors turned off. So as I push down and push my heels towards me, I'm staying at that same angle all the way to the top, and then I'm staying there as I come back down. What we don't want is we don't want this. We don't want you to roll, because that's when those hip flexors kick in, and that's when you start pushing the bench away from you. So I'm pushing down, pushing my heels down and towards me, lighting up those hamstrings, getting up as high as I possibly can. And if you can't get up all the way yet, that's okay. You'll work up to it. But that's the goal with this exercise. This double leg posterior chain lift is a super effective way of getting those hamstrings and posterior chain engaged and strengthened in a safe and effective way that's going to make sure that you don't compensate a lot, especially as you're keeping those positions, knees inside of feet, pushing heels down and towards you with every rep that you do. You really can't cheat on this, and it's only going to benefit you. Rep scheme with this, a couple of sets to as many reps as you can. I typically go in that 10 to 15 range. If you check out some of our daily move videos that include these, then we try to do it for about 60 seconds with rest periods if needed, or if it's rep based, if you're looking at one of our programs, then it's typically in that 10 to 15 range. The only other note that I will say is that try to push a little bit harder on your non-dominant side. If you're righty, that means your left leg. If you're lefty, that means your right. Just because we want to create symmetry. So I always preach making the non-dominant side work a little bit harder so that it's there, so that if it does fatigue a little bit sooner, we're creating that symmetry. We're trying to reduce the risk of asymmetry injuries happening. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this exercise. Double leg posterior chain lift. Have questions, comments, put them below. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Check out some of our other content. We got some great stuff going on, and we'll see you guys in the next video.